This is the reality that trans people face.
The UK just criminalised being trans.
Trans women are women. Saying I am a woman is not lying. And this should scare every single one of us.
It's like saying Chauvin went to jail for taking a knee. Yeah, kinda, yeah, Jesus. You literally told people that that's what you do because of safety in your last video. So why aren't you like advocating for people to disclose?
You're anti-trans.
So yesterday we watched a video by this person who was basically sticking up for someone who got found guilty of sexual assault. This person here, do you remember this? Do you remember this? If we were here yesterday, we remember this. This person pretended to be female, did not at any point make clear that they were a male person, went as far as to say, "Don't touch me down there because I'm on my period," which you would not say if you're being honest about being trans. Supposedly the victim didn't know, which is the one sticking point I have because the appearance is interesting, shall we say. And I watched this Rachel Moore person who completely glossed over the fact that this person like completely just lied to get laid and didn't give a fuck about the other person until afterwards. Wanted to make some kind of grandiose statement about how this is going to make trans identity illegal. This is going to make it illegal for trans people to have sex, when very clearly there was a deliberate lie that was told. For the most part, if you're a trans woman and you're generally open about being trans, you're not going to fall afoul of this kind of shit. It was actually a bit insulting, to be honest, to think that this kind of thing will reflect on all trans people, because I don't think most trans people do this kind of thing at all. I don't think most trans people are invested in lying to people, leading someone else to think that they're female just so they can get some validation from having sex with someone. I would imagine most trans people would rather be honest up front, out of the gate. And they've doubled down. This is the same person. The UK just criminalised being trans. And the thumbnail is the same person. It's the same AI image of this person behind bars. So I can tell you for right now, that is not the UK criminalising being trans. It has not been criminalised to be trans. That is bullshit. Like, disclose and risk violence or stay silent and risk prosecution is ridiculous. When you disclose after, that is what is more likely to cause violence against you. And this person has acknowledged this because they said they disclose, not because they give a fuck about the other person who's having sex with them, but because they're worried about safety. But yeah, this is what I keep talking about. We exaggerate things, we lie, we word things in a bizarre way. It's not criminal to be trans in the UK. Anyway, let's have a look at this video.
In a recent video, I warned that a case in Teesside could set a dangerous precedent for every trans person in the UK.
Yep, we watched this video, it was bullshit. There is not a dangerous precedent. Just don't lie to people. Just be honest that you are trans. Have sex with people that know who and what you are and are happy to have sex with you. Me personally, I don't want to have sex with anyone who is not happy to have sex with me knowing who and what I am. I wouldn't want to do that. I'm not interested.
And now, it's happened. A 21-year-old trans woman, Sierra Watkin, has been found guilty of sexual assault, simply because she didn't disclose she was trans.
This person didn't just not disclose. And we looked at this yesterday about deception based on sex. There's specific guidance at the end of last year for deception based on sex when it comes to sleeping with someone who you think is one thing and turns out to be another. So this person brought up a bunch of bullshit like analogies about race and like sexuality. Not really relevant. This is a specific thing. And it's not just that this person didn't disclose. They actively misinformed this person, saying they had their period. They were like actively lying to them.
Before sex. She has already been placed on the sex offenders register. She will be sentenced on October 10th. And let's be honest, if she is sent to prison, there is a very real chance she'll be put in a men's prison.
Okay, who cares?
This isn't justice.
I mean, listen, I hope nothing happens to this person in the prison. The prison should be its own punishment. But why would I care? Why would I think that someone like this should be in a female prison? But we don't care about women. We only care about trans people. If this person wasn't trans and was just a man who was a bit feminine and wanted to deceive someone into thinking that they were a female so he could have sex with a straight guy as a gay man. This person wouldn't give a fuck. They wouldn't care. This kind of thing has happened with like women. There was that, what was her name? Gemma something. I can't remember. There's been a couple of them. Someone mentioned their names in the comments. I looked at it yesterday.
Very real chance she'll be put in a men's prison. This isn't justice. This is cruelty.
It's cruelty to put someone in jail for an offence which the punishment is jail. What? What are you talking about?
Sierra met a man on Snapchat. They arranged to meet and they had sexual contact. At the time, she told him she was on her period.
Yep, so she lied. Well done, you understand what happened, so why can't you acknowledge this? Why can't you engage with this? Why do you keep saying didn't disclose?
Which stopped him.
Gail Newlands. Yeah, this person. So like their friend wore a blindfold and then she fucked her friend with a strap on. And their friend thought it was someone else. It was a guy. And then they found out it was actually their friend and that they're a female. They got jailed for 6.5 years. What does this person think of this by comparison? Is this okay? Probably against this because it's not a trans person, I would have thought.
From discovering that she was trans. Later, she did tell him the truth. He said afterwards...
Yeah, having already got what they wanted from him. He already got laid. He did it so he could get laid with someone that wouldn't have fucked him if he knew he was trans. And then once he got what he wanted, then he was honest. Okay, yeah, amazing. I totally want to be in any kind of demographic with this person. They totally don't sound like a piece of shit. Okay.
That he would never have consented had he known. The court treated that statement as the key issue and ruled that this was deception and therefore sexual assault. The jury convicted her after barely an hour of deliberation. This ruling isn't brand new. It links back to a case in 2013 called R vs. McNally. In that case, a cisgendered girl who identified as female pretended to be a boy online. She built a relationship with another girl. They later met and they had sexual contact. When the truth came out, the court ruled it was deception about gender, and she was convicted. But here's the difference that matters. McNally was pretending to be something she wasn't.
So was this person. This is the same shit. This person said, I'm on my period. Even if you're going to say this person is a woman because they identify as a woman, they're still pretending to be a cis woman and not a trans woman. A trans woman would not have a period. And the reason they said this was to keep them from realizing they have a penis. So they're still pretending to be something they're not.
Sierra isn't pretending. She lives, she presents, and she is recognized as a woman. That is who she is.
Is this person well, they were recognized as a woman. That was the fucking problem. I cannot conceive of how you would get this wrong. Why play fucking defense for this? Why is this your martyr?
Treating these two cases as if they're the same is a complete failure. The court ignored the difference and went straight back to biology. It ignored Sierra's lived identity.
Well, they didn't discount the difference in biology between what this person is and what they said they were. Like, biologically, this person can't have a period, so why is it that they lied about it?
Her reality, and reduced her to something she is not.
This is complete, bullshit. This is nonsense. They're saying that she's something she's not. Well, that is very subjective, because trans identity is subjective. And you completely butchered this, because they lied anyway. Doesn't matter. If you're a trans person and you lie saying that you're a cis person, that's still lying. You don't get to pretend that you're cis when you're trans, and that be okay. But anything else along those lines is not okay. Being a man pretending you're a woman or something like that. It's very arbitrary. It's almost like trans people should have special privileges to lie in certain situations. It seems like that's what this person is going for.
This ruling creates an impossible situation for trans people. If you disclose before sex, you risk rejection.
Rejection is very normal when it comes to trying to have sex with people. It's very normal to ask someone out or ask them back to your place or something like that, and for them to say no, especially if you're a man. Most men deal with that all the time. What impossible situation? Oh, a trans person is going to get rebuffed occasionally. Oh no.
Abuse or violence.
Like, this is silly. The violence tends to happen when they don't get told immediately. If you're like about to have sex and that's when you tell them, that's when the violence is most likely. So what you do is you tell them beforehand. Very, very simple.
If you disclose after sex,
Like, if you get rejected, would you want to have sex with someone who's going to reject you if they know the truth about you? I don't want to have sex with someone like that. I want to have sex with people that like me for me.
risk prosecution. If you never disclose, you live in fear of being outed and accused later.
By the way, I don't know why most trans women would live in fear of being outed. Because most trans women don't pass. Most of you are already out. And like, why should anyone have the privilege of being able to conceal their birth sex anyway?
The law has handed all the power to the other person. One bad date, one regret, and suddenly you could be accused of sexual assault.
Well, you would have to prove that they misled you. If you talk to someone on a dating app and it says on their fucking profile, I am trans, and then you have sex and then you try to pretend that you didn't know beforehand and they deceived you, it's probably not going to go your way because it said on their fucking thing. That's why you just disclose.
And treated as a criminal. This case does not protect trans people. It criminalises us.
Well, it might protect a trans person who is victimized in a similar way by either another trans person or a non-trans person who's just pretending to be the other sex. So it really depends on who is doing what. It might protect any one trans person. This isn't really about protecting trans people, though. This is about protecting people from having their consent violated, trans or not. But we always have to go with the trans narcissism. It's always about trans issues and nothing else. This person wouldn't be talking about this if this person wasn't trans, and would probably think differently if they weren't trans, to be honest. I don't know that. That's my opinion. I am speculating, but none of this makes any sense.
It teaches us that we either out ourselves immediately or we never disclose it at all.
Out ourselves immediately. Yeah, that's a bizarre way of saying be honest with the people that you're intimate with. What's the shame in being trans anyway?
Both options are unsafe. It brands us as deceptive.
This is not true. This is not true. It's not generally unsafe to be out as a trans person. I'm sorry.
By default. And it feeds into the culture where violence against trans women is excused.
How so?
In the United States, men who have murdered trans women have tried to use the so-called trans panic defense to reduce their sentences. They claim they were deceived. They claim they panicked. And lawyers have argued this to downgrade murder to manslaughter.
Listen, I don't agree that this should be the case. You shouldn't be able to murder someone because they surprised you with genitalia. The best thing to do is just not be in that situation. Just be honest straight away. And if they say no because of that, then, oh no, that's someone that you're never going to have sex with. You aren't entitled to have sex with anyone.
Manslaughter. This ruling creates the same logic here in...
No, it doesn't. There was no violence. This guy didn't do anything about this. He just complained. What logic are we talking about? It's two completely different situations.
the UK. It tells the world that our identities are dangerous, that we provoke.
This is complete bull. It's just victim shit. In what way does this say trans identities are dangerous? It sounds once again like you're the one lumping in all trans people together. That we're all deceivers. Ain't no one else saying that.
That our lives are worthless.
This is just bullshit. How so? You get to just spout these like victim narratives and people will eat it up. Like these people are like fucking patting this person on the back for it. It's absolutely nuts.
Sierra Watkins' life is now destroyed. She is a young woman branded a sex offender.
Yeah, is that because they did a sex offense?
She may be imprisoned, possibly in a men's facility. And all of this happened because she said she was a woman.
Crazy, crazy.
which is the truth. This ruling now tells
But they're not a woman. And it wasn't just that they even said they're a woman by your standards. They said they were female. They said they had a period. Trans women can't have periods. So they still lied.
every trans woman in the UK disclose before sex.
Yes, disclose before... You literally told people that that's what you do because of safety in your last video. So why aren't you like advocating for people to disclose before having sex? I don't get it, man. It's bizarre.
Or risk becoming
It's like saying Chauvin went to jail for taking a knee. Yeah, kinda, yeah, Jesus.
a criminal. This is not about protecting consent. This is about denying who we are.
And it's always about attacking trans people. Most people, including whoever was judging this case, probably don't give that much of a fuck about trans people. Certainly not enough to attack them. Everything is through this lens where it's all about attacking trans people. It's all about us. Every single thing. Like, there's never any other possibility. And we just decide this. What is this based on? What are you coming to this conclusion based on? The fact that they were trans? That seems to be it. The fact that now you might get in trouble if you personally mislead a man into thinking that you're female. Don't know how the fuck you'd manage that with that voice, but go off, I guess. This hill we're dying on is insane. Yes, Jesus Christ. They know that some men won't play about and straight up end someone over this. Yeah, they do. They mentioned trans panic, which is not even applicable here because the guy that had sex with this person, he didn't commit any violence. He didn't find out till afterwards. And like, yeah, I agree. Trans panic is bad. So then if you're trans, keep yourself fucking safe and just disclose. It's not worth it. Is it worth getting your underway to potentially make someone else feel violated because who they thought they had sex with, it turned out they were someone else?
Trans women are women. Saying I am a woman is not lying.
They said they're on their period, bro. They didn't say I'm a woman. I don't think they are a woman person. I think a male person can be a woman. I don't think that makes any sense. But that's not what they said anyway. They literally said something to confirm that they're a cis woman, not a trans woman.
But the law has decided otherwise. And this should scare every single one of us.
It doesn't scare me because I don't go around fucking people and pretending I'm something I'm not. So no, this shouldn't scare all trans people because most trans people are respectful in this way anyway. Certainly I would like to think. I guess I don't know for sure. Listen, I have a bit of faith in my own people here. Probably most of them are not fucking liars in this way. There's nothing wrong with disclosing. There's nothing wrong with being trans. You're just a certain way that not everyone is. I hope they apply this to every married man who fails to disclose, blah, blah, blah. Not quite the same. I mean, listen, I don't know how bad I'd feel for men that fall afoul of something for lying about their own shit. This doesn't justify any of it though. And it's a bit different. Lying about your circumstances in terms of your life. And lying about like what and who you are physically whilst in the act with someone is crazy to me. The law is twisted against us. We're like, this is what you're pushing. You're like exacerbating these people's mental health issues. Like, do you think someone that is saying shit like this, we are treated like 19th century freaks? I don't think I am personally. Do you think that someone like this is all there mentally? Do you think they're okay? Do you think that this is going to make them feel more okay or less okay? Terrible outcome, leaving with no good options. No, there is a good option. Just be honest. So does this person want trans people to be above the law? In this respect, it kind of seems that way. Sorry, I actually get very angry with these kinds of people. It actually really pisses me off. And all this like generalizing that this is going to do this, that, and the other to trans people. It's just not true. And it suggests that we're all sex offenders. We're not all sex offenders. It's just fucking nuts. Doesn't make any sense. How can they do it? See, the other thing is, because this person is lying to them, it's hard to tell how much these people in these comments just take what they're saying and just believe every word of it. Oh, they're a YouTuber. They must have done the research. They must have some level of authority on this. Well, no, that's not true. They're twisting the shit up and having you on for a fool. You want people to be more radicalized than they should be. Made out to be a sexual predator is way too much. Okay, I wonder what he thinks of this person then. Believe in equality for trans people. Is it equality when you get to lie? Nasty, nasty, disgusting. And this person is not alone. Because we got this video. You could be arrested for having sex. Heather and Sophie. Yes, this person got arrested for having sex. It was the fact that they had sex.
Imagine you're in a loving relationship. Then one day, seemingly out of the blue, your partner up and leaves. The next day, the police come and arrest you for sexual
What is going on?
assault.
This is not at all analogous. I hope we understand this. We know the case now. Don't know how the fuck this would work. No idea how you'd conceal from your partner that you were trans for that long. And if you're in a loving relationship, maybe they feel a bit fucking betrayed. Maybe that's kind of okay, in a sense. Understandable, you know?
This is the reality that trans people face. Welcome.
Hello.
Bit of a sad, bit of a depressing news story. It's a bit of a
I can barely hear them. Like, fuck me, dude.
A trans woman was charged, convicted,
She was convicted
by the CPS, the Crime Prosecution Service. She was prosecuted for not revealing that she was a trans woman.
Wasn't Heather following that trans bathroom assaulter on Twitter and looked up to him? Who do you mean, sorry?
Sexual activity with a cis man before having sex with a cis man, and this is alarming for many reasons. The biggest reason is that it makes it dangerous for trans women to have sex with anyone.
Or trans men. I mean,
Or
it's
trans men too.
Yeah.
It does not make it dangerous for trans people to have sex with other people. It's just not true.
It's like trans women and trans men are affected by this. I mean,
Yeah, Katie Dolatovsky was the one that assaulted a young girl in a supermarket toilet. For associating with paedophile Katie Dolatovsky was using one of his various aliases to access social media after sexually assaulting children in the women's toilets. One of my biggest accomplishments. Oh, so we're saying this Aliana McKenna person is Katie Dolatovsky. Okay, I can't really confirm. But if that's the case, that is pretty rancid. Explain yourself, Heather.
but like all laws that get rushed through because of knee-jerk reactions, it doesn't actually work.
No, and that's the thing, is that
This law doesn't work, doesn't expand at all. What are you talking about?
that's sort of taking an outlying case and then sort of making it the sort of general rule.
The music fucking loops.
And unfortunately, because of all the attacks on trans people, it's now become something that's weaponized against trans people in this case, because it's another one.
They just say these things. They never have to back any of it up. What does this mean? What are you referring to? We'll never know. There's just all these nebulous attacks that are constantly happening to trans people, and they never actually have to explain a fucking word they say.
If I was to date a cis guy, for example, we were to have sex, and I was then to go, oh, well, I didn't know he was cis, so I'm going to try and get him.
Well, if they were a trans man pretending to be cis, like the problem is, if you say, oh, I didn't know he was cis, well, it's like, well, what did you think he was? What did you assume he was trans? If he was, no, hang on. Let's say this guy was a cis man, and you had sex with him being like, oh, well, I thought he was a trans man. And he's been going around literally telling you, I'm a trans man. And then you hook up under the belief that he's a trans man. And then somehow you found out later on that actually he's just a man. Yeah, maybe that wouldn't be right either. Maybe that would be bad too. That's fine.
Done for sexual assault.
That's the thing. Like
that's a completely incomplete example. Like, what did you think he was in this situation?
it's if they're going down that route, then it should work both ways.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. I mean, I put this out on.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It's not like so-called cisgender people have ever fallen afoul of stuff like this. Oh wait, they literally have and been arrested for it.
Blue Sky, and somebody said, yeah, you'd just be laughed out of the police station, and that's exactly what.
Okay, Blue Sky, because someone said it on Blue Sky, it must be true. You all on Blue Sky are fucking freaks. One time I went on Blue Sky, the very first thing that appeared was like some Twitter turfs like fucking docs.
What would happen?
You would. So why is it the other?
It was just making things that it's just speculation. Just vapid fucking speculation.
I put this out on Blue Sky,
I put it out on Blue Sky and my stupid fucking friends confirmed my delusions that there's no way it'd be taken seriously. You don't know. You don't know. And you probably presented it in a way that made no fucking sense anyway, judging by what you said on this video.
And somebody said, yeah, you'd just be laughed at the police station. And that's exactly what would happen.
You would.
The reason this all came about was they were in a loving relationship, as far as I can tell. Like, she went to his parents' house, and you know, like, you don't take a hug.
They were in a loving relationship. They were like chatting on Snapchat and then met up. They were in a loving relationship. Are we still talking about the same person? They were in a loving relationship. They've been exchanging messages for a couple of weeks over Snapchat before meeting at a house.
To your parents' house. And it was only when his friends found out that she was trans and took the mick out of him for dating a trans woman.
I didn't know about this part, but that doesn't matter.
That he then was like, oh, this is disgusting, and accused her of sexual assault, sex by deception.
Well, if we go back,
I didn't know about this, like his friends or whatever. But I don't know. We're fine with telling victims how they should feel when it's a trans person that was the assaulter. But for the most part, this never flies. I know. I can't see anything about his friends taking the piss out of him. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. Does he deserve that kind of stigma because he was led on by someone in this way? I don't think so.
a year or 2 years now, I can't remember, but there was a girl who was brutally attacked down south in England, somewhere south of England, and a lot of the TERFs were transphobes were trying to get the teenagers off the crime of attacking this trans girl, because they were using that same defence about when the teenage boy who had sex with the trans girl was told by his mates that she was trans.
I was just saying, they might be conflating two cases. And like, who are we talking about? Who is this person?
It all turned nasty, and that's when they decided to attack her. And they were using this kind of defence again, this kind of trans panic defence, as a way of trying to get out of the responsibility of their crime.
It's exactly. I mean, we've not moved on since.
Okay, so we don't say who it was. So I just have to assume that what you just said is in any way correct to any situation that happened, and that all the TERFs were sticking up for them. Like, okay, sure, I don't know, bro. I don't think that's true.
So all of this is painting this horrible picture that being trans is not.
There's a lot of people like saying, oh, his friends found out. I can't see a source for this. Like, where are we getting this from? Is this just one of those narratives that someone spouts and then everyone just starts believing? Wearing a bra stuffed with handkerchiefs. And they were on drugs. I don't know what's worse in a way. Getting drugged up and like meeting someone up to have sex. Them not knowing you're drugged up. Or fucking someone who is on drugs. Like, pregabalin is nuts as well.
Congrats on your first video doc on Yit.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the $50. Very kind of you. Thank you. All right, so we got sexual assault. Had he known, he wouldn't have mattered as he didn't swing that way. Bunch of shit about gender critical stakeholders. No idea what that has to do with anything. It's almost like these people are propagandists. There's no mention. Listen, Pink News are not guilty, I guess. Well done. That his mates knew anything, and that's why he came out, because they started taking the piss out of him.
Yeah, they're trying to ban us out. They're trying to prevent us from existing.
They're trying to prevent us from existing. Based on what? What are you talking about? This has got nothing to do with anyone pretending trans people or anyone saying trans people shouldn't be allowed to exist. I ain't had no one coming for me. I don't know anyone that's had anyone coming for them. Like, what are you talking about, bro? This is just nonsense. That's what every one of these people fucking does. They take these stories and twist them into a way where they can say there's this huge fucking conspiracy to try and eliminate trans people from everyday life. It's just not true. It's not happening. There is no fucking evidence of this. Victim's mother suspected he was trans, but didn't say anything. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the appearance does make it a bit preposterous, but we are in the UK. Like, we don't know the other person. The other person's identity has been kept hidden, which is a good thing. They might not be all there themselves. They might have been taken advantage of. If there's any kind of like disability, they might not want that mentioned because it might confirm who they are to other people in the area. It just seems predatory to me.